Great seeing our fans out here. This was incredible. Not surprised. It's a uniquely loyal fan base, and I appreciate them. Great seeing all the kids out here, people bringing their families out here, so that was outstanding. They brought the energy. They definitely brought the juice out here. I know the players responded to that. Got some really good work in situationally. Saw us down in the red zone a couple times. Saw some 2-minute drills. So pleased with the work today. And then I'll take any of your questions.
Kevin, how did Dungy visit come to be, and what was his message to you guys?
So Coach Dungy, I met Coach Dungy through Leslie Frazier years ago. And obviously he's a Hall of Fame coach, but he's a Hall of Fame person. And he's been very supportive of me, and we've stayed in touch. So I made sure if he was in town for the festivities down there, I wanted him to come over and visit with the team. So I got to spend some time with him before practice, and then he shared some words with the team. So it was outstanding.
Kevin, do you feel like the competition gets elevated in a setting like this when you're away from your facility, you're in the stadium for the first time with your fans, considering what happened last year? You see that level of competition get stepped up on a day like today?
Yeah, you definitely do. And you know, we track the intensity of practice via the GPS, and it's amazing when you are in the stadium or the lights are on for a night practice, you got fans, all of a sudden guys are running faster, they're running longer, the intensity picks up. So not surprised by that, and again, just kudos to our fans for coming out en masse.
Were you ever concerned that you wouldn't get this in, or did you know the weather was going to break?
You know, I don't know if you remember last year, Tony, but there was some strange weather last year as well. So that was nothing new for us. We were pretty confident it was going to pass through and we could safely practice.
Ryan and Joku had some great catches today. Do you feel like the tight end core is really, coming on strong?
Yeah, Marla, we feel good about that room. We've talked about it. We think all those guys have unique skills. They all complement each other in their skills. So pleased to see them make some plays. They're going to have to continue to do that for us.
In that case, Keenan looked like he made some tight throws for touchdowns.
Yeah, Case did a nice job in there. The ball, I thought Harrison was a really nice throw and a really great catch that Harrison made with the DB's back turned to him. So Case was good.
Delpit has now gone 9 practices out. Is that beyond normal management of this camp for him?
He's dealing with a hamstring that he's working through.
Denzel.
Expecting soon?
Hope so.
Denzel was on the side too. Anything?
Just normal resting.
And then I wanted to ask you guys worked a little bit of tempo. Outside of 2-minute, you worked a little bit of tempo and no huddle. Like, is that kind of the next level of this offense? Or is that something we'll play around with more this year?
Yeah, I think I'd tell you, Dan, it's the natural evolution of things. I mean, to say we're going to do it every game, I don't know that, but you got to have many ways to attack a defense. So we want to make sure that we're growing in that regard. But for us, we always look at each game as how do we win this game, and what does this game call for? And that's kind of what practice is for, working all these things.
Anything to report on 58 leaving the field?
He's had an oblique. I hesitate to call it a strain because I don't know, but they took him in, so we'll see.
Anything Dungy told you personally? What was it? Could you at least what was the theme of it, or was it specific football things?
It was a great conversation, Marla, between Coach and I. But again, he's somebody I couldn't have more respect for Tony Dungy and what he's meant to this game. He's a special person. So, I mean, he was up front. He made sure the guys knew he's a Steeler. We get that. But he's an ambassador for football, and I just think he's an important figure in our game, and really couldn't be more humbled to have him out here talking to the team.
Kevin, does anything stand out about Baker through a couple of weeks, and even how he's handling kind of the ups and downs?
Yeah, he's pushing along. Scott, has had some really good moments, some moments to learn from. I think that's the natural course of training camp. I think the defense has made our offense really, really work. They've done a nice job of being tight in coverage. The pass rush, the run fits have been outstanding. So I think it's a really good battle back and forth. And we've said it. I know you want to score every practice, but I think these guys are trading blows every day.
Is there a particular reason you had the kickers kick to do it?
I knew you were going to ask me that. They came down this past week and kicked into the dog pound, so I made sure of that for you, Tony. But we'll work both sides as we get going.
Kevin, when you had about 10 days or 11, I'm not sure how many, so has any of the young guys really jumped out at you?
Jeff, I think that whole rookie class, that they work really hard, and that's no surprise to me because I was around them back in May and seeing how they operate. They're pushing each other, so I've been pleased with all those guys.
Kevin, we tend to get focused on results, especially when you're doing the 2-minute and the situational stuff. Those last 2 offensive series for the first team didn't get the results that you were looking for.
But when you look at the big picture, could that actually help you more so than if you got the results, because now you have something to go back in the film room and really critique and look at?
I would tell you, Daryl, you have to learn from every rep, good or bad. Certainly it's not very fun when you're learning from the bad reps, oftentimes for the players, but we can teach off of it. It's our first time being in a 2-minute team drill like that, so communication has to be on point. I thought the guys did a nice job, but you could say bad job by the offense, you could say good job for the defense, So just as long as we're continuing to learn and trying to get better with each rep.
When you come back Tuesday, do you hit a new level of camp now that the Jacksonville game's coming up, or no?
Not really. We're still in training camp mode. We'll spend a little bit of time on Jacksonville on Thursday as we install a game plan, but really the focus for us is we have to get better at a lot of areas, and we're not going to spend too much time on Jacksonville. Really, I should say we won't spend time on them till Thursday, just so you're in training camp. There's a lot of work that needs to go, and as opposed to putting in a game plan to try and win the game.
But, I mean, when you map this whole thing out, was like stadium practice ends one part of camp and then we go on.
Not really, no. Yeah, I mean, you get into where you have you're traveling and you're going to play some opponents, but they're definitely still in the dog days of training camp.
Hey Kevin, in terms of your relationship with Baker, how much more comfortable are you guys together and just knowing what he does well, him knowing what you want out of him, those kinds of things? How has that evolved?
Yeah, I think it's like any relationship, Tom, with all those players. I mean, I feel like I know Jarvis better. Like Jarvis can come up and tell me what he's seeing. Because we're not teaching the system to a brand new for all the guys. So I think certainly Baker, but all those guys have made strides in understanding what we're doing, and that's where the nuance comes in. I've talked about that before, where as coaches we can dive a little bit deeper into it. But Baker's he's doing a nice job, continuing to try and get better every day.
Is there anything new you can tell us about McKinley today?
No.
Kevin, there's obviously a lot of attention on Baker's contract situation. Josh Allen gets a deal. People start talking about what it means for Baker. How do you think he's handling the situation, and just what about him makes you think he'll continue to handle it the way you need him to?
Yeah, I think our guys are professionals. They understand there's a business side to this, but we keep the focus on practice, on the meeting room, that type of thing.
You see him locked in on it.
I see him locked in.
Not worried about the talk.
Yeah, I see him locked in.
Did you ever meet Bobby Bowden?
I did not, no. And condolences to the Florida State family and the Bowden family. A legend, was reading about him this morning. Just the records are unbelievable.